Hi, my name is Gary Zammit, and I'm President and CEO of Clinilabs, a contract research organization based in Manhattan. The question is, what is a clinical trial? A clinical trial is a research study of an investigational new drug. Clinical trials are conducted in 3 phases prior to a drug's approval: Phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1 studies typically are conducted with normal healthy volunteers and sometimes with patients to determine how a drug is absorbed, how it's metabolized by the human body, and how it's eliminated. These studies are critical to determining how safe a drug is for human consumption. Phase 2 studies typically are conducted with small groups of patients. These studies determine the efficacy and safety of a drug, that is, how likely one is to derive a therapeutic benefit from taking the drug, and how safe the drug is in patients with the disease under study. Phase 3 studies are large clinical trials, usually conducted with thousands of patients and very often in many different countries. It's the data from Phase 3 studies that are used to support all new drug applications to regulatory authorities worldwide. There are risks and benefits associated with participating in a clinical trial. Risks include adverse events, which are untoward or undesirable events that can occur in the context of a clinical trial. Some of these adverse events can be serious. Risks also include the chance of getting a placebo or an inactive treatment, which is a treatment from which little or no therapeutic benefit may be derived. And finally, one must consider the time required to participate in a clinical trial and things like the discomfort associated with the medical procedures that might be involved. The benefits of participating in a clinical trial include very often working with doctors or investigators who are among the tops in their field. Also, the chance of getting medical procedures at no cost and getting an investigational new drug that may have some therapeutic benefit. Many clinical trial participants also are compensated for their participation. Compensation depends on the subject burden, which is the amount of work or effort that's involved in participation in the trial. You should know that by law, all clinical trials are governed by institutional review boards or ethics committees. These committees determine that the clinical trial protocol is scientifically sound and also ensure that the doctors participating in the trial are using good clinical practices. These committees make sure that human rights are being protected. One thing that's important about a human rights committee is that they ensure that informed consent is provided for all clinical trial participants. That means that you must provide your consent to participate in writing, and you can withdraw at any time without any prejudice. Your experience in a clinical trial overall is going to be determined by the doctor or investigator that you work with. So if you're considering participation, choose to work with a doctor you trust, as he or she will ensure that your experience overall is a positive one. If you have more questions or you'd like to contact me, please do so at participate@clinilabs.com.